Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Two videos in a row while we're on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, this new headset, I don't have to hold the phone up to my face or anything. It can actually pick up the sound from the headset, the earpiece, which is perfect. I have two speakers connected right now, two Bluetooth speakers connected simultaneously. In the future, I'll just do one speaker, but for right now, we have two speakers. I'm on my way to the Home Depot because, they don't know how to do anything better, but they claim they do. And take care of some things. I have some plumbing that I have to take care of. All right, we have something to talk about. We're going to talk about judges. Do you want to talk about judges? Let's make sure we talk about judges. Let's go ahead and explain to you that a judge has no authority. A judge has no power. Hold on now. A judge has no authority. A judge has no power. Except when representing the court. The court, not the corporation. The corporation has no power. The corporation has no authority. The only reason the corporation gets authority is because you grant it to them by consenting to their jurisdiction. Okay? You grant it to them by consenting to their jurisdiction. Now, I have a problem with the appearance thing because the definition of appearance doesn't matter if you put another word in front of it, like special, but the definition of appearance means to submit to the court's jurisdiction. A special appearance would also equate to submitting to the court's jurisdiction. So what I suggest people do is a special visitation on the court. I don't mind, since they do summonses, then go ahead and do a visitation on the court, since they're practicing religion, and just do a visitation. And I'm only here to make sure and observe that you guys don't violate the rights of the defendant. You are the defendant. I'm sorry, excuse me, what did you say? You are the defendant. Okay, I just need you to explain on the record, how can a natural person, as I am, be a defendant in one of your courts? Just go ahead and tell me where you get the authority over a natural person. Go ahead, I'm waiting. No. Wait, whoa, hold on. Excuse me, sir or ma'am. I'm not ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. But as I said, oh no, you're not going to get offended because I address you with a salutation, with a common gesture as far as you're being something that's supposed to be respected. So by calling me ma'am, that's a sign of respect. So take it. I'm not going to call you judge. Okay, not until you show me this jurisdictional thing, because you claim you have jurisdiction over a natural person, and I just need to see where that is. So, where's this jurisdiction granted at? Go ahead. No. You said you have jurisdiction over a natural person. Let me see where that jurisdiction is. I need to see that, because I ain't never seen that. I ain't never consented to you as a so-called official officer, whatever it is you're calling yourselves these days, having jurisdiction over my natural person. Now, as far as the corporation, yeah, you got jurisdiction over that, but you don't have rulership over that. You don't control that. You don't order that. You don't do that, because I'm not here. That's why I said I'm here to observe whether or not you're providing due process. So either you have jurisdiction or you don't. So where's your jurisdiction over that? Don't say the Constitution gives you the Constitution doesn't give you jurisdiction over me. The Constitution limits any authority the actual judicial branch may have. You're not the judicial branch. You are a private corporation with a private EIN number with comprehensive annual financial reports being filed by your so-called administrative office of the court, otherwise known as judicial counsel. Now, I don't have to prove that. That's a matter of public record. You're the one who's going to have to prove that that doesn't apply to you, that you're not operating under that capacity. See, we're going to deal with capacities here. And like I told you, I'm here in my natural capacity. Again, these are the arguments that they can't have with me. They can't run me in circles, but I can do them. You guys are going to have to start to understand what you're dealing with. The judges listen to videos such as mine. Okay? They actually have their own little meetings and seminars that they have so that they can respond. For instance, I've heard at least 5 judges, when a person is explaining that the promissory note paid the debt, And they'll simply say, so are you saying you just get a free house? Are you saying you just get a free car? They all say the same thing. Are you saying you just get a free, and then they say what it is. The exact same phrase. This lets you know that this is scripted. They've already have been trained on what to say and how to respond to. And so let's do, I heard in one video, because I've heard them say this at least once to me, but I was listening to the video and the guy was talking and the person asked, are you saying you just get a free house? And the guy says, oh no, I don't get a free house. What? See, here's my response to, are you saying you just get a free anything? Excuse me? Did I say anything about free? Wait, no. You sat up here and asked the question, and so I am going to make sure that the record is clear. Did anybody say anything that would imply the word free? Now the conversation changes. No one said anything about free. Nobody implied anything about free. I specifically said, and here you are going to take my words and twist it for your own pleasure. How dare you? Now everything changes. Why? Because now the judge doesn't get to put words in my mouth. I don't have to answer the judge's question. I just took the judge's question, reverted it to a question, but also reverted it to a question with frustration. Why? Because the judge is purposely trying to imply that I am trying to take advantage, get something for nothing. Okay, she knows that that's a violation of maxim. See, the judge can't reward me unless there is something that I or the other party stand to lose and we had a contractual relationship. So there can't be a reward for somebody who receives something for free. There has to be something placed in jeopardy or at controversy. Free is not a controversy. There has to be something placed in jeopardy or at controversy. So that's what the judge does when they say, are you saying? And guess what you do? When you hear somebody say you're trying to get something for free, you try to defend yourself. Why are you trying to defend yourself? Ladies and gentlemen, judges ask you a question. You have to practice taking the question the judge asks and re-asking the same question of them. Now, I have the habit of doing exactly what you just heard me say. Who said anything about, wait, no, hold on. No, and I will raise my voice to you. You sit up here and put words in my mouth. How dare you sit up? See, that's me. Because they'll say, don't be raising up. I will raise my voice at you. You want to raise your voice at me? We can do a raising voice contest, and I guarantee you, you will lose. That's my response. Y'all can't be me. Okay? See, when I'm in there with them, we're playing a mental exercise. They're trying to prove they're smarter than me. They're trying to prove they know more than me. For most of you, they are smarter than you. They do know more than you. I know. You're going to convince yourself that they don't. See, most of these judges have only been doing this for 20, maybe 15 years, maybe 9. I've been doing this all my life almost. I've been having to defend myself, and most of you who are people of color, and most of you who are men, you heard what I said. Most of you who are people of color, and most of you who are men, you have had the experience of having to defend yourself. So you have a little bit of practice of having to defend yourself. The only problem is most of you try to explain yourself by defending yourself. You don't have to explain yourself to nobody. That's a choice. There is no obligation to explain yourself. For instance, I've gone into certain courts, and because I speak on my own behalf, I don't represent myself. I speak on my own behalf, and I make sure they understand that I know how to speak for myself. I don't have to speak for somebody else. They can speak for themselves. But anyway, when I tell them I'm there to speak on my own behalf, they then say, well, we need to place you under oath. Now, most people would say, okay, yes, I solemnly affirm or swear or attest. No, you don't. My first response to them is under oath. I'm not here to testify. Wait, are you here to testify? No, I'm not here to testify. Did I say anything that I was here to offer up testimony? So no, I'm not going to sit up here and do that. Everything changes, everyone. everything. Again, they don't put me through what they put the rest of you through. They try it. They try those little gimmicks and games, but after we go through at least two basic, rebuttals where I challenge their stupidity, they stop. They don't even try it no more. Then we have my hearing. Now, mind you, at this point, and I need you all to understand, at this point, they're not going to do anything to help me. They're going to do everything in their power to ignore what my rights are at this point. So you all need to understand that. They'll do the same thing with you. That's why you can't do what I do. Because I'm not there to win. Not in the normal sense of winning. See, anybody can win. Anybody can win a race. I often tell people the story about how I had a basketball team that I coached, and they were losing 74-4. 74-4. Now you ask yourself, how in the world could anybody lose 74-4? And why would any coach let his team be in the hole by over 66 points? Why would any team allow that? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something. We won. A game where we were losing 74-4, we won. Okay, the other team forfeited. All I can tell you is that's how I play. I don't have time for games. Referees were cheating, and that's obvious that they were cheating. And I even told them, walked over to them and said, what are you guys doing? I love the phrase, I do the how dare you thing, because I watched a lot of television when I was a kid. How dare you? Okay, so I do the, how dare you guys sit up here and do this to these individuals. I said, this right here, there is no reason, none on this planet for you guys to be treating these guys like this. I said, you're treating them as if all of the practice and everything that they've done is worthless, that they don't know how to practice, that they don't know how to play basketball. I said, that's impossible. And they said, well, coach. Well, coach? What do you mean, well, coach? Okay. Hey, I just want to make sure you guys understand. And sure enough, they told me that they understood, and that game did not end very well. Ask Charles and Ed O'Bannon, and they will explain. All right, and weren't proud of that, but we also weren't going to let anybody treat us like we were dirt. I don't have that in me to let you walk over me and embarrass me in front of the world. I mean, I do now. Sorry, I didn't have that in me then. I do now. At this point, in this stage of my life, I let things go. I don't need to hold on to things. So at this stage in my life, I let things go. All right, getting back to the judges and these conferences they go to. Don't be so stubborn. Another word that matches stubborn is stupid. Stop thinking that you can outdo them, out-talk them, outshine them. Stop thinking because you watched a couple of YouTube videos that you can handle a conversation with these individuals who do this day in and day out, 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. This is all they do. They practice every single day. You do not practice every single day. So you cannot do what they do. So stop thinking you can handle them because you can't. You are not capable of going toe-to-toe with these idiots. So the first thing you must establish is your status. And you do that by letting them know who you are. You don't have to state your name. State your name for the record. I'm not stating my name for the record. I'm going to put this on the record. Because you haven't stated your name for the record. Hold on now. Why didn't you state your name for the record? But you're telling me I have to state my name for the record. Then state your name for the record. So if you don't have to state your name, I don't have to state mine. That changes everything, people. Now again, like I said, no more argument. How can they argue with me? Sir, the rules say, I don't give a bunch of rules. Equal protection of law trumps your rules. So if you don't have to do it, I don't have to do it. Like I said, the idea is to change all of the stupidity, all of the ignorance, all of the moronicy. And there is a whole lot of moronicy, a whole lot of stupidity. So instead of accepting and taking their arguments, their questions, their word for anything, you just challenge it. How do you challenge it? Every question they ask, take the question and throw it right back at them. If they say, sir, this is for this, that, and the other, excuse me, are you saying those are the only issues that are before this court today? Is this, that, and the other? Yeah, those are the only issues before this court. So you're saying that I cannot bring forth any challenges or raise any other issues other than the ones you've just dictated to me. You see how I'm just asking questions? It doesn't matter if they get frustrated with me. It doesn't matter if a judge acts angry. It doesn't matter if they get frustrated. As long as you say, oh, I apologize to the court. Remember, as long as they threaten you that they're going to hold you in contempt, just say, oh, well, I apologize to the court. The court is fictional. It's not a person. It's not alive. The court is fictional. So it has to forgive you because the courts have no feelings. Any of you who've ever been accused of hurting the state, you cannot hurt the state. The state cannot be a witness. The state cannot be hurt. The state is not a person, a live person with feelings. Feelings, nothing more. Oh, I'm sorry. They're doing some repair work on the road, and so I am in traffic right now, just sitting here waiting for vehicles to the vehicle that takes us up the road. We're in the mountains, and these are a lot of twists and turns. And so what I have to do is I have to wait for this lead vehicle to pull away, and then I can pull away. Yay! That whole time for the last 5 minutes, that's what was going on. So that's what I had to deal with. Yay! They're doing some tree trimming or something. This is the mountains, a lot of trees, a lot of thick brush. So I think after knowing that this is going to be a very rough summer when it comes to fires, they are going through the task of cutting down all of the excess brush. Back to judges and prosecutors and all of these people. Ladies and gentlemen, as long as you recognize and understand that they only operate on presumption. What is a presumption? It is a guess. Okay? Guess or genes. Guess or genes. So you don't have to deal with that. And like I did say, they are doing tree trimming. So they're doing a lot of tree trimming. I mean, there's a whole lot of brushes and branches on the ground. So that's what we are dealing with, people. But back to the judges and prosecutors and everything. Because they only deal with presumptions, and all they do is presume, then you have to say, excuse me, is that a presumption? When they say, you are to this and you are to that, excuse me, is that a presumption? Okay, excuse me, is that a presumption? It is respectful, and they can't argue with you. And every time the judge says something, every time the judge makes a statement, every time the judge says something and it seems like the judge is angry, then you say, excuse me, are you relying on a presumption? Then I object. Oh, because the law is not based on presumption. The law is based on facts and conclusions. I thought you knew that. Aren't you a judge? Ta-da! Everything changes at that point. Remember, they make everything presumptive. Everything is presumptive. So because they make everything presumptive, that's the problem. Okay? I know. Now, there are some people who deal with them all the time, and they understand what I'm saying right here. And because they understand what I'm saying, then they're going to benefit greatly by this. So we want you guys to understand about presumptions. Don't fall for the okie doke. Do not fall for the okie doke with respect to presumptions. This is the junk they throw at you all the time for whatever dumb reason. Okay, every judge, every court, it's presumptions. So start every time they say something that you know is wrong, or every time they take something and turn it around, or every time they state something as a fact, then ask them, are they relying on a presumption? And when they say they need to see some previous court case, oh no, I don't want to go by no judicial common law. I want to go by the actual common law for the state. Judicial common law and actual common law is, man, there's a national common law. Seventh Amendment identifies a national common law, and the state recognized their own common law. Seventh Amendment recognizes the state's common law. So there is a judicial common law where they rely on court cases, and the judge goes off of what they refer to as precedents. Well, judges don't make law. So judicial common law is not law. It's presumptive. It's presumed law. And so, again, are you relying on presumptions? Then no, I object. Because I don't have a right to a trial by presumptions. I have a right to a fair trial. Presumptions are not fair. Presumptions require a rebuttal. And by law, pay attention, the person who brings forth the argument has the burden of proof to prove their argument. Presumption takes away the burden of proof, which is the problem. Sorry, if only you could see these two ladies parked on the side of the road as if they have a right. And so when a tractor trailer or something comes on this road and gets too close to them, they're going to wonder why one of them got hit. It makes no sense. Their car is so close to the side of the road to that so-called limit line or emergency lane line that it doesn't, I promise you, it doesn't make any sense. But it's California. What do you expect? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just down, this whole trip, I'm just down to the bottom of the hill. This is a 30-mile-an-hour turn, and then I got one more 30-mile-an-hour turn, and then I'll be at the bottom of the hill after all of this traffic. So what we're going to do, I can't turn it off just yet. I just had to make sure where the button was. This is that other 30-mile-an-hour turn, and now I'm at the bottom of the hill at the stop sign. So let me let y'all go, and we will talk next time. Judges, gotta love them.